I cancelled all of my subscriptions and built my own software and virtual storage to replace my streaming services, my cloud storage, and my music subscriptions. I got tired of constantly paying for a bunch of subscriptions every single month and getting constant monthly charges that, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the time I actually forget where they come from. And last week, Netflix jacked up their prices again. And I was scrolling through Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and Netflix, and I kind of thought to myself, this all kind of sucks. There wasn't a single thing on there I actually wanted to watch. And I am paying a lot of money for these services, but what else can I do? But then it hit me. All of these things that we are consuming, that new terrible season of Devil May Cry, that Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack you're listening to, all of it is stored on a hard drive somewhere in America probably, that is getting sent to your device via the internet with fast upload speed. You send those files from their hard drives to your phone alongside a pretty interface to make it more user-friendly. And I thought to myself, well, I have storage. I have a laptop with 2 terabytes of storage and a PC with a lot of storage on it as well. Surely I can do the same thing, right? But the way I would go about that, I wasn't 100% sure. Would I need to build a dedicated unit for this? Can I use my PC and leave it switched on and download an app and call it a day? Is this gonna cost me a lot of money to figure out? The answer is yes. After some research, I realized the thing that I needed was called a N.A.S, a Network Attached Storage Unit, which I know sounds super techy and fancy, but all a N.A.S is literally a computer with less emphasis on graphical power and more emphasis on storage. In fact, a lot of N.A.S units you buy from Amazon or Best Buy don't come with a graphics card. Instead, they have extra space in the case for hard drives. So I thought to myself, I have 2 options. I can either buy my own N.A.S off the shelf from a supplier, or build my own. And if you know me, I love building stuff, I love projects, so we will be building our own N.A.S. Plus, when you build it yourself, you have a lot of control over the quality that you're building, and you can build it to meet your specific needs without paying for features or extra RAM or something you don't actually need that absolute price. So, out of the way, let's buy our parts, baby. The parts required for this are a CPU fan, RAM 16 gigabytes total, a motherboard, a cheap SSD for your operating system, a fast SSD for your apps and software, a case, and lastly, some hard drives. Now, unfortunately, while building this, my budget did run out, so I won't have a hard drive yet. So instead, I'll be storing all my files on my SSD temporarily. Please subscribe so I can afford to buy a hard drive. Before we assemble, I want to get our priorities straight first. I want to be able to smoothly stream movies, shows, listen to music remotely with no lag, have a functioning cloud storage that I can use from anywhere without any issues. And if those things aren't met, I will just have to crawl back to the streaming titans and pay their prices again. And to have that smooth streaming for movies and shows, I'm going to need 5 things: Transcoding, E.C.C, a capable media server that can run things quite well, and lastly, fast parts within the N.A.S itself. Transcoding sounds complex, but it's literally just the process of converting one media format to another, like an MP4 into an MKV or into a WebM. Because the video file your TV plays is different than the ones your iPhone would play or your laptop would play. That's why it's important to have the ability to transcode that. And besides transcoding, the other important thing is E.C.C. You see, all your data is essentially just zeros and ones. And E.C.C is a feature that ensures those zeros and ones stay zeros and ones. Our DDR5 RAM has built-in E.C.C, which takes care of that issue, which is why it costs a lot more than your regular DDR4 RAM. And the thing is with DDR5 RAM as well is that you get more energy efficiency, which keeps your energy below, plus it's fast. When building a N.A.S, you don't need a lot of RAM or like a super CPU. You just need efficient, high quality, fast parts that are good from sending data from A to B. Because all N.A.S does is manage and transmit storage, so raw power isn't the key here. And lastly, a capable media server. The more popular options for this are Jellyfin or Plex. But this is where I've gotten a little bit greedy. You see, I want to have my own Netflix. I'm talking profiles, a carousel with recommendations, personal branding, side tabs, the whole lot. And Jellyfin and Plex look really good when customized, but they don't have that home theater feel that streaming titans have. So, I built my own. Welcome to the Starrk, a streaming platform I built to act as the interface for my Jellyfin server that will run as an app on my phone, TV, and laptop. Now, you see, building this took a lot of planning, and the hardest part was getting it to run on my LG TV because it has its own custom OS instead of an Android like Samsung. But I was determined. I knew I can get it to work. I started planning the layout, the tabs, and built some sample pages using AI image generation tools. Began to familiarize myself with LG developer mode apps so I can begin to install it on there. And I downloaded these packages into Cursor. Then began building the actual platform using Cloud Codes, Cursor, and Windows VS Terminal. And after 1 month of constant work, making adjustments over and over again, manually editing code and flirting with Claude, this is what the finished result looks like. Right, let's aim this at the TV as if it's actually gonna work. I've tried this so many times, I kid you not. I think this is attempt like 210 or something stupid like that. But I think it should be working now. I got it to work on my computer, but now our goal is to go to work on the TV. Right, put this bad boy up. HDMI, home screen. Oops, let's go. It's there. The logo is actually there. I kid you. It's a huge one already. Right. Let's boot up the app. Before, it was like just like a gray page, like a gray rectangle, and that's it. So data is actually being sent. Let's go! Oh my god, okay. Got the profiles. Got the carousel. Got the continue watching. Oh my god. Woo! Woo! Wait, let's test it. Look, let's play a bit of One Piece. Yeah. Oh my god, if this works, I'm gonna cry. Wait, let's navigate that episodes tab. We can navigate. Navigation works. Cool, let's play, I don't know, an episode. Oh. Wait, hold up. Bro, I'm so happy I could actually cry. This took so many attempts. Jesus. Look at my board. I kid you not, that was probably the highlight of this year so far. And the platform is sick. It has profiles, a carousel, tabs, the whole lot. It really feels like an actual streaming platform that you would pay for, which is the best part. And because I built it, it can suit my very niche interests, like say in anime, 80s martial arts films, have my own selection of profile pictures. So it really feels like something built for me, like the best product for me possible. And if you want to build this, you don't need to know how to code, but you do need to know how to read code in order to debug errors, which is something you can actually pick up as you're building it if you're a complete beginner. Now, I'm not going to walk you through how I built this because that would take forever, but if you want to know how, let me know in the comments and I can make a video on it in the future. Now, all that's left is to assemble our NAS. Time to switch it on. Let's go! And as we can see, all of our paths get recognized. All that's left is to install our operating system, transfer our files, and install our apps. I reinstalled Jellyfin as the media server, installed Nextcloud to act as my Google Drive, Navidrome to replace my Spotify, which I'm working on a similar Starrk type interface for as well, so stay tuned for that. And now you might be thinking, but Starrk, how do you get those files? Well, for this you have two options. You could either A, put on your straw hats and sail the seas, or alternatively, buy your own discs and Blu-rays and export them using a disk drive. Which if you do, you are guaranteed to own the highest quality version of that file that you can. So keep that in mind, but whichever choice you do, that is your prerogative. And with that, we're finished. We have everything set up, and the big question is, was it worth it? Well, when you look at it this way, I'm never paying for a streaming platform ever again. I'm never paying for Spotify or any other music subscription ever again, nor am I paying for cloud storage. And this NAS cost me £478.09, or £628.09 if you take into account the cost it's going to take to buy a 10 terabyte hard drive that I'm going to do. And the thing is, for me personally, I don't like having constant bills come out of my bank every single month. So with this, I get more consistent cash flow, I have control over everything I own with no ads, no pop-ups, no annoying suggestions, and I own the highest quality of everything I choose to convert. So my honest verdict, if you have the time and money, I think you should do this. This video took forever to make, so I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, really helps me out, and would help me a long way into affording a high quality hard drive. But any questions, let me know. Also, let me know if you'd be interested in a full guide on building the NAS in more detail. If there's demand for it, I'll make one. And let me know what your thoughts are. I'm really curious what people think of self-hosting, if you have any experience with it. Thank you for your time and attention. It is genuinely a valuable resource, and I appreciate you giving it to this video. So, take care. Bye.